We all know that compound interest is an amazing thing, it'll make you rich. Countless videos talk about this already. But see, that's not what this video is about. See, because in this video, we're not going to just talk about the good of compound interest, but also the bad. Something that will not only keep you where you currently are, but could even make you fall deeper into financial distress. And that's not even the worst part. Because at the end of the day, you're actually making someone extremely wealthy. And just so you know the real side of compound interest and not all the fluff that you taught in high school in the textbooks, we're going to go deep into the ugly side of compound interest. Because if you want to be rich in investments using compound interest, or even to get out of debt, you'll want to first know what's in the fine print and discover the hidden traps that no one tells you about until now. So here's the good, bad, and the ugly of compound interest. The good. If only money could grow on trees. Imagine a tree that you plant and after a while it starts to grow money. Even when you're asleep, even when you're sick, or don't feel like working. That's compound interest. Because you see, every investment uses compound interest. Simply put, compound interest is just how to grow a number or an amount exponentially. Now, if you remember from grade school, addition, multiplication, those numbers were still understandable. But the moment exponents were introduced, numbers changed in a huge way. This is because growing something exponentially is ridiculously faster than adding or multiplying. So saving your salary bit by bit is like addition, which is slow. If you want to save to retirement in this day and age, it'll be impossible. Multiplying will get you there faster. But if you can use the power of exponential growth, then you're tapping into the power of compounding. Okay, so we all get it. You have to compound. But just knowing this is like knowing you have to go to school to get a job. The real question you should be asking, what should I study in school? And with compound interest, the question that begs to be answered is, what should you invest in order to achieve the compounding effect? You can use anything to grow your money as long as it has the returns that you want for the effort that you put in. Stocks is the first one everyone thinks of. It has a low barrier to entry. Anyone can get a bank account, a phone investment app, and start investing. I don't even have to say his name, you already know who it is. And he's great at investing in stocks. He not only finds the greatest stocks, but buys them when they are at a huge discount in bear markets. See, if you want to do stocks, copy success. Find out what Warren Buffett does and copy it. It's that simple. So anytime Berkshire Hathaway has a buy or a sell, the news talks about it. Read the finance news and follow it. Or if houses are your thing, you can use houses to grow your wealth exponentially as well, which is what I mainly do. Buying a property cheaply and as it grows in value over time, plus the rental income, will make your wealth grow exponentially. And again, satisfying the compounding effect. See, these are all accomplished using the same compound interest principle. See, but there's this one element that separates the greatest investors from the average investors. Average investors will reward themselves with a new car for Christmas, buy new TVs when they've made some money from their investments. But see, that's where the growth stops. There is no compounding. You're not a multiplication, you're back to addition. See, the only way to have crazy compounding effects is getting what you made from the investment and putting it back into your investments again. See, after understanding this, you can see why some companies grow exponentially faster than other companies. Because expert entrepreneurs do this religiously. Take the famous tech mogul, who even when his company was making money, didn't go off and buy himself a nice car or a private jet. Instead, he lived in the same place driving the same car when asked about how Elon Musk was before he was successful. Every dollar made, besides paying off the necessities, was placed right back into his business and ventures. You see, he is an avid practitioner of applying compound interest, but in reinvesting for company growth, which eventually pays off because his company is now worth billions. And the famous YouTuber who every single dollar he made ever since the first time he was monetized has been put right back into his channel, his gear, his content. The first check he ever got from YouTube, he went ahead and got a microphone because when first starting out, Mr. Beast's microphone really sucked. All right, so let's look at this list for the returns you can choose from. So banks will typically give you 1 or 2% because of low risk on your part. Naturally, you'll grow your money slower, but probably you won't beat out inflation. Stocks, 10 to 15% growth. If you go sell stuff online like Amazon FBA, 20 to 30% returns, so faster. Go open a restaurant, go franchise Subway or something, 25 to 35% returns, so better. Or go build a startup, 0% to maybe 5,000% because obviously it's high stakes, so high rewards. But as you can see, all these require energy or sunk costs. And this is what you need to take into account. And because all investments carry risks, and just for your information, I am not a financial consultant, you have have to do your own due diligence. Just remember the key point. It's not compounding if you're taking out the profits and then enjoying the fruits of your labor. See, but most people don't realize that compounding is actually useless if you're actually bleeding on the other side. Which leads us to the bad. See, because what can go up can also come down. The same forces apply on both sides of the compound interest game. See, it's a dog-eat-dog world that we live in, and if you're trying to beat out the other dogs, just know that they're doing the exact same thing to you. So case in point, how you pay for most of your expenses right now is one of the biggest traps in the game of compounding returns. See, knowing you can invest in anything, some people got smart really early on and decided on investing in human nature or betting against you. $7,000, that's the average American household credit card debt. At 20 to 30% interest rates, betting on humans not paying off their credit cards is a really good investment with very little risk because of credit scores and government bailouts. But see, 20 to 30% are just for people who pay at least minimum payments. So that's not where the real money is made. It's when people don't pay. Remember how reinvestment becomes exponential growth? See, what if you were unable to pay even your minimum payments? Well, this is when compounding interest works against you. Because by missing payments, you're basically borrowing more, which is reinvestment for credit card companies. And you have now just become a compounding investment for them. They've won the bet. And get this, they will make an insane amount of money off of you. And the system is set up in a way so you will never be able to pay it back. And most often, they will end up making about 3 to 5 times what you originally owed. And this is all legal. But more on this later. Banks aren't even the worst people who use compound interest. See, they at least have government oversight. Because just wait till your friends become your worst nightmare. Which leads us to the ugly side of compounding interest. The ugly. See, on the other side of the city, where the windows are barred and government grants seem to dry out and disappear like local police officers, families struggle to meet the basic requirements for a bank account. On these streets, putting food on the table is a favorite pastime, and resorting to borrowing money from someone who might be able to help out is only a matter of time. See, the Bible warns against it. Countries have laws against it, but there's a lucrative underground economy based on betting against you and putting you in a deep financial spiral of death. This is the realm of organized crime and illegal lending. These people are your neighborhood loan sharks and gang members that prey on the vulnerable. And with rising costs, literally everyone is at risk. It all starts with a similar rhyme. Someone in the family either falls sick, your single income, and the sole earner for whatever reason gets a paycheck that has been delayed by their boss. But rent is still due, you still gotta eat, and emergencies still happen. That's when your friends will start introducing you to someone they know, and he happens to just help people out from time to time. But of course, they always tell you just make sure you pay him back on time, because the interest rates can be higher. They'll ask you if you need a personal loan. They'll ask you if you need fast cash. And when you're desperate, no food, medical bills, you have a sick family member, it can initially really feel like a saving grace. But these loans actually lure you in with promises of fast cash, easy procedures, no background checks, only to hit you with astronomical interest rates that can skyrocket your debt anywhere from 500% to 1,000% if you miss a payment. And before you know it, that small amount of debt has turned into a mountain of debt that feels impossible to climb. And it usually takes on average 2 years for someone who's a victim of this to come out and actually go to the authorities and say something. Because even though it's illegal, most people don't know it, and we actually feel guilty for having debt. And usury law actually caps interest rates at 18%. Usury, by definition, is the practice of making loans that are seen as unfairly enriching the lender. So a loan may be considered usurious when there is excessive or abusive interest rates. But wait a minute, didn't I just say that credit card companies charge 20 to 30% on average? Aren't they being loan sharks and subject to usury laws? No. See, this is where credit card companies get away with usury laws. Because many states allow credit card companies to get away with usury laws, and they even set up their headquarters in states where usury laws are basically not applicable to credit card loans, or they allow for high interest rate loans. So credit cards aren't there to help you. Their minimum payments are not a relief for you to have more breathing room. And although this seems convenient and easy and no one will find out about it, credit card loans are actually not regulated. They may be competitive compared to other companies, but they are all far above the legal limits of 18%. So if you can, go to your bank, get a traditional line of credit, take out a loan against your mortgage, take out a loan against your car. Anything to stay away from credit card loans. And of course, loan sharks. See, loan sharks, now that you know, you can get out of them legally. But credit card companies, they'll get you down for life. But if you're looking to get rich within 3 to 6 months or get out of debt and you want a simple 3-step system, then I suggest you watch the masterclass on the Save Slave Master System, which is this video. Now please subscribe. Thank you for watching.